Today I want to share something profound, something that doesn't come from the mind, but from the soul. There is a mirror within me, and within you, a mirror, a silent, pure mirror that reflects something beyond the body, beyond thoughts, beyond history. This mirror is the soul, but often it's covered by fears, beliefs, ego, desires, and we begin to forget who we truly are. Today, I want to clean this mirror together with you. I looked at myself in the external mirror and saw a face, a name, a story. But at some point I began to feel that this was only a part. There is something more subtle, more true, a me that observes everything. This me doesn't change, it doesn't age, it doesn't suffer from the same pains of the mind. It's as if behind all experiences there was only consciousness, silent, awake, loving. And I began to realize, this is my true self. What clouds the mirror of the soul? It's the ego. That inner voice that compares, judges, demands, and accuses. The ego is a master at creating illusions. It says, you need to prove your worth. You're not enough. You need something out there to be happy. And while I believed these voices, I forgot the light that already lived within me. Little by little, I learned to observe these voices, to not react, and to remember. I am what observes, not what screams inside my head. It was in silence that I began to rediscover myself. When the mind is silent, even for a few seconds, the soul begins to whisper. I perceive a peace that depends on nothing, a living presence, nameless, formless. And there, in that inner space, I see the mirror cleaning itself, the light returning, and something inside me saying, you were never lost, you just forgot for a while. One of the hardest and most liberating things I learned was realizing that the other is a mirror. The criticisms I made, the discomforts, the judgments, all of this revealed parts of myself I didn't want to see. When someone knocks me off balance, I stop and ask myself, what does this say about me? Sometimes it hurts, but it hurts more to remain in the illusion. The other shows me where I still need to love, where I still need to heal, where I still need to remember my essence. When I begin to cleanse my inner mirror, I also begin to see others with more compassion. Behind the behavior, the speech, the mask, there is a soul trying to remember who it is. And then, even amidst the chaos, I find something sacred in each person. I look into their eyes, and I realize the same light that lives in me lives in you. This realization changes everything. It transforms everyday life into spirituality. This journey isn't theoretical, it requires practice. So every day I commit to small gestures that keep me present, waking up with gratitude. Silence for a few minutes before opening my phone. Observe thoughts like clouds without believing them all. Take a deep breath before reacting. Speak with love, even when it's difficult. These practices gradually cleanse the mirror of the soul. When the mirror is clean, there's no reflection. Only light remains. I no longer see a separation between myself and the world, between myself and others, between what is spiritual and what is everyday. Everything becomes an expression of the same loving silence. In this state, I don't need to make an effort to be who I am. I just am. If I could leave you with just one message today, it would be this. You are light. You are consciousness. You are the mirror and the light at the same time. No matter how much you've forgotten, the essence has never been erased. With each breath, you can return. With each silence, you can remember. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath and repeat mentally with me. I am peace. I am silence. I am the observing presence. I am the perfect reflection of light. Thank you for walking with me today. May your mirror shine ever brighter, and may your soul illuminate the world around you. Until next time.